This week on OSRL. As temperatures begin to drop, we fire up our rocket mass heater and prepare for the cold winter ahead.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the Domestead. Now, if you're new here, my wife and I were building our own home off-grid here in the Arizona desert. Now, if you could do me a favor, give this video a big thumbs up and definitely subscribe because you'll want to see all of this come together. Now, if you caught our last video, you know we had a big rainstorm that put a slowdown on all of our progress out here. But it was nice, you know, since we live completely on rainwater, that water definitely filled up all of our tanks again, so that was fantastic. But you might be able to tell it is incredibly windy. Today we've had 30-mile-an-hour winds, gusts up to 40. It's just been absolutely crazy. This could be the start of another decent-sized storm. If it comes, it's going to come later tonight, maybe in this evening, go throughout tonight. So it should be interesting to see how much rain we get overnight, and we'll check that out in the morning. But in the meantime, we're going to hang on tight because the winds out here have just been absolutely insane. Is interested. You gonna bring your stick back? So I'm trying to eat healthier, and I'm trying to do it on a budget. And I thought the best way to do that is to start doing some meal prep. So I got a nice cool little 3-bean chili crock pot recipe that I'm going to try right now. I'm going to make it for you. And you guys can see how I do it and what I've been eating. So let's start with the base. As I put in a can of tomato sauce, 29 ounces. We're going to put in a can of diced tomatoes. Then we're going to add in our beans, which I got a white bean, pinto bean, and kidney beans. Now this is 1 cup each of these beans, soaked overnight, rinsed, and ready to go. I figure go with dry beans over the canned because it's cheaper and you might not have as many additives. Okay, now we're going to add 1 chopped green pepper, 1 small white onion. Now I've been adding a chipotle pepper to my chilies for a little extra spice. All right, let's give this a stir. All right, let's add some spices. We got some ground pepper, some ground cumin, a little bit of ground turmeric, a couple teaspoons of garlic powder. Okay, then we're going to cook this on high for 4 hours. So now that it's almost done cooking, we're going to add the last ingredient, bag of frozen corn. And this will help cool things off as well. Get it ready for storage. Excuse the lighting, it's nighttime. I got 7 meals ready for the freezer. Cheap, easy, and pretty healthy. Good morning. Man, very little light, so I don't know how well this is going to record, but we did get that rain, and it is pretty wild. I don't think we got a lot, but we got enough to make it a muddy mess out here. So I am out here braving the elements. Looks like we got a little break in the rain. I don't know if we're going to get any more this morning. It was mostly raining last night and into the early morning. Of course, I'm usually up really early, so so I got to see the tail end of it. Rain or shine, I'm out here making sure Yuvia gets out here because even though she spends a lot of time outside, you have to specifically make it a walk time in order for her to get out and do her business. And she is around here somewhere. I swear I'm not just doing this alone by myself being a weirdo. I mean, you can see we still got a ton of clouds. Mountains are all covered. So, yeah, I don't know how much rain we could see even today yet. As soon as we get a little bit more light and I head back from this muddy mess, we'll see what we actually got. We're back. Let's check out this rain gauge, see what we got. So it's soggy out here, and when I came out earlier, it was even worse. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, 3/8 of an inch. So almost half an inch of rain. Kind of similar to that last rainfall. Pretty wild. You know, I'll definitely take it. This is crazy. I feel like generally we don't see rain at this time of year. Usually, I think it comes a little bit later, but I could be wrong on that. Look at this. I pumped water into the trailer, and we're still getting overflow. Look at this. Still getting more rain. You know, I emptied out that rain gauge too. I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Well, I guess we'll just measure what we got if we get any measurable rain from now on. The 3/8, that'll count toward yesterday. So we'll see what we get today. See what we get right now. This is the result of the morning walk. Look at this dog. She is soaked. Oh my goodness. Someone's having a little too much fun this morning. Is that right? Are you having a little too much fun this morning? You know, it's crazy when it rains like this on these cooler months. Everything takes longer to dry out. You know, and we just had that rain a little while ago. Then we got another decent rain, and it's still raining. And you could tell that this is just sitting on the ground a little longer because the last rain hasn't even like dried up. It's still soaking in, so that's going to present some challenges. It is a soggy, muddy mess out here. So I just left for the day. She is heading out to visit some family. So I am going to get busy with some chores. I might try messing with the cob, but it's honestly pretty cold for him dealing with that. So I'm going to see what I can get into. So I got some of these wheelbarrows that are full of water from the last rain. So I figure one of the things I'm going to do is empty out these wheelbarrows so the water isn't sitting right in there. And I think it'll be perfect for dumping into the compost. But first off, let's get it into a bucket. It's going to be easier getting this stuff in with a bucket than from the wheelbarrow. All right, now this is the compost that we have sitting. This has got to sit for a year. Now, this doesn't get as wet as the compost that we're adding to. Obviously, that one gets all the moisture. So if every time I get some extra water, I like to dump it in here. Keep it moist and keep it breaking down. You know, since it is getting colder, Jess says she hasn't been complaining because she's not a complainer. But she has let me know in uncertain terms that it is getting colder in the dome. And I feel like the earth bag dome, it does better in the summer more than in the winter. In the winter, it's definitely good to have a heat source going. And that's where our rocket mass heater comes into play. So I'm just going to do a little test and just see like which way the draft is going. But if the draft is heading out toward the outside of the dome, that's exactly what we want. And instead of coming in here. And if that's the case, we might try and do a preheat and start warming up this bench. Start warming up the rocket mass heater. Sometimes it needs a little bit to get it going. So we'll start playing around with the rocket mass heater and see if we can't start warming things up for Jess. She dislikes the cold a lot more than she dislikes the heat. That's why we live here. So I just tore up some paper. We're going to light this up and we're going to see how this... We're going to see which way the draft is going. so this draft is absolutely not going the way I want it to. It's backing up into the dome. That's not a big deal. That just means I'm going to need to work on kind of heating up the barrel and heating up the bench a little bit to get that draft going just the right way. So it's just going to take a little bit more work getting it started. That's all. So I can play around with heating that up after dark. There's no point in messing with that now, but while I still got some light, I'm going to try and source some wood. I think I might have some wood prepared, but I'm going to have to go through it and see what I can just kind of bring in there just to kind of get things started. No sense in bringing in a ton of it right now. It's really going to come into play maybe more next month and the month after that. But if we can get a little heat now while the temperatures are starting to drop, that'd be good. Okay, so I got a bunch of wood in this bin, a bunch of sticks, pallet wood, some 2x4s. I think I'm going to bring in stuff like this 2x4s, pallet wood. I'm going to leave these bins out here. I don't know if anything's crawled in there, any spiders or anything like that, so I'm trying not to bring in any pests. You know, sometimes wood piles can attract certain bugs or something like that. So I'm just going to grab some from some of these bins, bring that in solo, and so I have something to work with. I'm just going to bring in a little wood to start with. Place that under here. Also, we also got some fire starter wood in here. You know, it's filled with the sap. Makes it good for real good burning kind of starter fuel. And then I'm going to start working on heating up this barrel. So I think we're good for now. You know, since I'm talking about food prep, I might as well keep going on with that and start prepping for my next meal. And that's it's another chili, actually. And so I've been eating a lot of chili, but 2 different kinds of chili. And this one, the other one was 3 beans. This one is just going to be black beans. So I got to soak these beans. So this one is black beans, dry black beans. So I'm just going to do a cup. See, I got plenty of water in here with a couple inches above the beans to give it room to expand. Then just cover it, stick it in the fridge, and it'll be ready by morning. Man, good morning, everyone. It is crazy out here. Man, the fog has descended on here. It's almost like the streets of London type of fog. And as far as the rain we got yesterday, a little bit, but you know, it's just probably enough to wet the bottom of the rain gauge. So not a whole lot. Cool little fog. We usually don't get something like this. It's kind of neat to experience every once in a while. Except if you got to drive in it. If you got to drive in it, well, that's a whole other story. You a girl. What you doing? Where you going? Where you going? You gonna help Daddy work? You gonna help Daddy work? Oh, nice bow. Nice bow. She's supposed to be going for a walk, but apparently she didn't feel like it. Yuvi, what are you doing over there? She's right by the house. Look at this. All right. Sometimes you feel like a walk, sometimes you don't. All right, let's start mixing up some cob and get back to working on them floors. Well, we'll still mess with that rocket mass heater for sure. We'll get that up and running. I'm not too worried about that. We'll get that heated up, start running it, and we'll get some heat in there. Yuvi, what you doing? Coming in? Gonna get some scritches from Mama. Oh, she always loves it. All right, we're gonna make use of some of this water we have in this tub. Not sure there's a ton of it. A little bit. All right, good morning. So now that Jess is up, I'm going to play around with the rocket mass heater. I'm going to see if I get a draw this morning. If not, I'm going to have to heat up the barrel. And yeah, it's working. We're getting a nice draft. Okay, so we are moving. All right, so I'm not going to run this too long. Just trying to heat up this barrel a bit and kind of try starting to warm up this bench and just kind of start getting this thing heated up. I'm about to start cooking another meal. I wasn't going to go through this recipe. If you want me to go through this recipe, I can do that in a future video, but I figure more than one recipe per video might be a little much. But I just got my black beans in here, some sweet potatoes and spices and stuff. And basically it's almost another chili. And I'm going to keep expanding these recipes because I kind of like what I'm doing with this and just all the meal prep. Part of the reason why I just want to show you guys this is I just want to kind of show you guys it's not all about me doing cob. That's not the only thing I do out here. You know, I'm making a lot of meals, doing a lot of meal prep, stuff like that. So constantly keeps me busy. I'm always running around doing something around here, you know. And I think there's still a little confusion. People are saying, oh, it looks like you guys are still living in the RV. Technically, I mean, we still use the RV quite a bit. I think we did talk about this before, but sometimes I don't think it hurts to go into it again. We mostly spend our time in the dome, except we do use the RV still. Obviously, we still do a lot of cooking in here. And we still use the bathroom in here and take showers in here. So it's just kind of like an outbuilding at this point. So I'm going to get to cooking this, make some more meals for the week. And in the meantime, I'm going to get back out and doing some cob. That's a nice thing about meal prepping like this, with a crock pot. Just throw everything in a crock pot, let it cook, and meanwhile I can keep working out there. All right, I'm making good progress out here. This is about as far as I'm going to get with the kitchen for right now. I'm going to move on to the pantry, get this done, then we'll finish off the rest of the kitchen, and then we're almost done with this layer. Crazy. All right, good morning. Well, we're up. UV's outside, fending off the coyotes. Sounds like there's a lot of coyotes out there, and some fairly close, but I'm sure she's going to be fine. Jess is downstairs. She's still sleeping. Okay, she's not sleeping, but she is in bed. And we're going to start up the rocket mass heater, and we're going to warm that up a little bit. So sometimes when heating up the barrel, especially at the beginning of the season, I use these little tea lights, just some small candles. I got these because they were fairly inexpensive, so I can put like maybe 2 or 3 in there and just kind of start heating up the heat riser over here. Then we just kind of place it underneath the heat riser, kind of reach in there and place it on over. Looks like we're ready to go. All right, with just a little coaxing, we got the draft going how we want. Looking real nice. We're gonna have a good fire going here. All right, so making really good progress out here. Yeah, it's a new day, new room. So I'm gonna get started on the pantry, and we'll see how far I can get. Hey! The whole family's here. So yeah, weather is getting colder. It's that time of year. Rocket mass heater. Prepping. It's coming along pretty well. It's going to be a nice addition when things get a little colder. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be a colder than normal winter or average, or do you think it'll be a bit warmer?
I guess based on the weather predictions with the La Nina, or I think that's what it's called, it might be warmer and drier here.
That's what they've been saying, but are you sure it's going to be drier? Because it's been seeming pretty wet lately.
So far, yeah.
So of course, yeah, we've been getting a decent amount of rain, and I think we might get more rain this weekend. So it's kind of crazy. But in between that rain, we had some pretty nice working temps. So I'm making a lot of progress out here, along with the floors. Now starting on the pantry, we'll get that done, and moving right along. Once I get this base layer done, I think I might take it one room at a time and just kind of build up each floor on its own. But we'll see how we go. So by the time you guys see this, Thanksgiving will be over. I know people were wishing us Thanksgiving on the last video, and probably should have mentioned about that on the last video. I always screw up the timelines here, but it is our Thanksgiving, and I thought it would be good to say what we're thankful for. You know, I'm thankful for this lady right here. I'm glad that she's in my life. I am thankful for this life we get to live out here. And man, it has just been an absolute dream. I couldn't wish for anything better. I am thankful for every day I wake up next to this lady and get to live this life. And I can't imagine anything better.
And I am thankful for not just the gifts that I experience, you being one of them, all the support that you give, all the loving, relationships and encouragement and support that we've received, but also the challenges too, because can't avoid that, but those are times that help us grow and learn and expand. It's all part of life. So I'm thankful for all of that, all the opportunities that this life has presented.
I'm also thankful for each and every one of you. Really, thank you from the bottom of my heart. We really appreciate you guys tuning in each week, watching what we do out here. Thank you so much. Thanksgiving's going to be over, but I still think this is the season for thanks. Let us know what you're thankful for down in the comments. We want to hear it. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys being here. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.